Hello heroes! Welcome back to Heroes Shadow, where we take a dive into our favorite heroes' minds. If it's your first time here, buckle up and get your favorite suit, cause today's adventure is about the best spy in the world. After so many spy movies, why is James Bond still relevant and loved by the audience? Because although different actors played the character, his essence remained the same. He's not just a good spy, he's charismatic, charming, flirty, and witty. Traits that many other spy characters lack. He always steals the scene, even if he's not exactly your type. Basically, he could set off bombs and still arrive on time for dinner and impress your family. In this video, we're gonna break down what makes James Bond so cool and sexy. How his profession gives away the best trick to be a little more like him, even if we don't work for a secret agency, and how we can use this to draw people to us as well. So if you want to know how he catches everybody's eyes and how you can too, stay tuned. Despite being known for the ability to undercover, Agent 007 never goes unnoticed. Some might say it's because he's rich and has a fancy car, or because he's mysterious. But if they were right, all spies would be just as loved. However, we forget about many of them as soon as the movie ends. So if it's not the mystery or the danger, nor even the money, what's so unique about him? The answer is the core reason as to why he's so present in our minds, even if we're not fans of spy movies. What's special about James Bond is his confidence. If you take the cars, the technological assets, the fancy car, the suit even, he would still be him, and he would still catch your eye. Usually, our sense of confidence depends on how familiar to a specific situation we are, but James's trump card relies exactly on expecting the unexpected, and that's why he always succeeds. He knows what to do, even when things don't go according to plan, and they often don't, and this way of thinking gives him the ability to analyze the bigger picture and find other possibilities to reverse the situation in his favor. In No Time to Die, Bond is retired and is enjoying a peaceful and a simple life in Jamaica until he's requested to come back to one more mission when an old CIA friend asks for help to rescue a kidnapped scientist. But what seems to be a quick mission unravels into something way bigger that will bring up James's unfinished business and force him to make extremely difficult decisions, as the only person who can help him is the girl he left behind 5 years ago.
Job's done. The bitch is dead.
Throughout the movie, he's constantly having the rug being pulled out from his feet and needs to back up quickly to reach his goals and protect his newfound family. As a secret agent, James doesn't count on being in foreign environments and uncomfortable situations, while being focused on what he has to do and what he needs to do to accomplish that. For instance, when he has to go to a party and blend in the crowd in an organization that he's not a part of, he plays it cool, and he and his partner do exactly what someone who was a part of the organization would: enjoy the party. It can be hard to put yourself out there, especially in situations you've never been in. We have done some videos about why it's worth it facing your fears, which will be linked in the cards, but how can you actually do that? Bond proves the phrase, "fake it until you make it," can be really helpful. In cognitive behavioral therapy, it's called act as if. Behavioral interventions work to change people's lives from an outside-in approach. By altering one's external circumstances, we can change the way we feel about ourselves. We often engage in self-sabotage when we act to avoid difficult situations because of the possibility of bad outcomes, even if they're unlikely to happen. One of the biggest reasons for this is our automatic thoughts, which we talked about in the video in the cards as well. And this type of thoughts can get in the way of our actual abilities to do something well. The best thing about the act as if technique is that we can use it even if we believe 100% in our automatic thoughts. Here's how it works. So first, identify the automatic thought that's getting in your way. These thoughts can have a huge impact on the actual outcome, because when we think something's gonna go wrong, it increases our anxiety and it may hinder us from preparing for the situation adequately. After all, if we know we're going to fail no matter what, why put a lot of effort into it? Number 2. What would you do if you believed the exact opposite? Imagine you know for sure you're going to succeed in the situation you fear. How would you act then? If it's easier, try to imagine how someone else would act if they were sure about succeeding. Number 3. Rehearse those behaviors. Act as if. You can roleplay with your dog, mirror, etc. The point is, you need to be familiar enough with the behaviors so that you can use them without thinking about them too much. Then engage in the behaviors you've rehearsed. Little by little, start putting yourself in situations you fear. So when an automatic thought comes to mind, continue as planned. Each time you do that and see you can actually succeed and how that small automatic thought wasn't true at all, the bigger ones will start to seem less accurate as well. And each time you'll gain more confidence to the point you're not even going to believe in them anymore. James did that not only at the party, but as things got progressively harder as well. He thought he would never see Madeleine again, but had to face meeting his old lover and pretend as if what happened between them didn't affect him anymore, since he had buried that part of his life 5 years before. He even kept a straight face when he discovered that someone else was designated as 007. What happens can only affect us if we let them, if we give them power to do so. Therefore, pretending as if you don't care about a specific circumstance will make it lose its power towards you. It doesn't mean it's not going to bother you right away, but it won't paralyze you from doing what you want. Besides that, he tells Matilda and Madeleine, reassuring things like, everything's going to be alright and I'll be right back, and act as if he completely is sure about that, even though he doesn't know if he's going to make it out alive or not. And he avoids thinking about what can happen if it all goes wrong, because sometimes fear is useless, and trying even without knowing the results is the only way to conquer what we want. And if James never had agreed to help Felix, he'd never know that the person he loved didn't betray him, that she still loved him, and most importantly, that he had a daughter with her. What's more important to remember is that everything is a process, and every tiny step you take is important and is going to help you achieve your bigger goal, like little pieces of a puzzle. Be patient with yourself. The most important thing is consistency. If you watched until the end, answer in the comments, what was a moment in your life that you felt as confident as James Bond? Let your stories inspire others to face their fears too. If you haven't already, hit subscribe and the bell so you arrive on time for our next adventure. And if you have any suggestions about new ones, let us know in the comment section. It might be the next. If you're craving more, here's some videos about brave characters we handpicked for you, and I'll see you in the next video.